Chapter 9. A Grandchild's Warmth. With the others dispersed from the courtyard, Lady Elara Thorne began her breakfast. This time, after the food was delivered, Mistress Glynis blocked the servants at the walkway, refusing them entry into the room. She would serve the dishes herself. She was determined to guard her lady fiercely, ensuring no one else saw her injuries. Lady Elara watched the bustling Mistress Glynis, struggling to recall if she'd had any reliable servants when she was 13. She'd never truly concerned herself with such matters. There was no need when her father was alive, and after his death when she went to Valoria, House Blackwood was there, so there was still no need. She had never encountered hardship, nor known what it meant to be troubled. Everything had flowed smoothly, effortlessly, right up to her death. Lady Elara offered a faint smile. "My lady," Mistress Glynis prompted from the side. Lady Elara gathered her thoughts and sat at the table, reaching up to untie the cloth covering her face just enough to eat. Mistress Glynis bowed and retreated, standing guard just outside the door. Lady Elara had two types of servants: those who had followed her from the Swordfall marches and those assigned to her by the Thorne family. Mistress Glynis belonged to the latter. On the surface, Lady Elara appeared to be a pampered and extravagant young lady, but anyone who interacted with her quickly learned her temper wasn't overbearing. The servant's duty was simply to look after her and entertain her, a task that wasn't difficult for either the Swordfall marches retinue or the Thorne family's assigned staff. Lady Elara never showed favoritism among her personal servants because she didn't need to care. If a servant wasn't satisfactory, she'd simply replace them. She had no shortage of staff and no need to trust anyone. She was the daughter of Lord Anson Thorne. Others merely needed to satisfy her, or more importantly, satisfy her father. But now Lord Anson Thorne was gone. A child without parents was like a blade of grass adrift, a sentiment Mistress Glynis knew all too well. After her own parents died, her relatives seized their house and land, then falsely claimed she was lost, when in fact they'd sold her to a trafficker. She was fortunate to have been sold into the Thorne family. Mistress Glynis watched her surroundings with a mix of vigilance and sorrow. Outside the courtyard gate, maids stood waiting, but they weren't as quiet as in previous days. Low whispers drifted over, along with the sounds of maids and servants moving about, occasionally daring to peek inside. In harsh lands, villagers could be cruel, consuming others without blinking an eye. Even in a grand family manor like this, not everyone was benevolent, especially considering the wealth and power that Lady Elara and Lord Cale Thorne possessed. The Thorne family manor was vast. Each of the 4 elder brothers had their own courtyard. Moreover, as the family had many children, Grand Matron Thorne, in the spirit of fairness, had assigned separate courtyards for her grandsons and granddaughters, raising them together. Before marriage, their food, clothing, and education were all provided by the Grand Matron. When Lord Cashin Thorne arrived with Lord Cale Thorne, Grand Matron Thorne's chambers were already bustling with family, wives, grandchildren, and even great-granddaughters. Because of Lady Elara's ordeal, the Grand Matron had been restless day and night, and her daughters-in-law and grandchildren had been tending to her, worried sick. "My precious heart!" the Grand Matron cried, embracing Lord Cale, patting his shoulder. "You must have been so frightened." Lord Cale leaned into the Grand Matron's embrace, patting her back in return. "It's grandmother who must have been frightened." Lady Seraphina stepped forward to console them. "Now that you're both safely home, Mother and Cale, please don't cry anymore. Cale, you haven't eaten yet, have you?" Hearing he hadn't eaten, the Grand Matron quickly stopped her tears. "What? Why haven't you eaten?" Lord Cale explained. "I arrived late last night and spoke with Sister. We went to bed late and woke late. I just got up." Before he could finish, the Grand Matron immediately called for the meal to be served. "Cale must be starving," Lady Seraphina said, and she, along with her 2 sisters-in-law, personally began setting out the dishes. "I didn't feel hungry before," Cale admitted, rubbing his stomach, a little embarrassed. "But now I really am hungry." "You were too preoccupied earlier, dear," Lady Rosalind, the 3rd mistress, said gently. "Holding your breath, too concerned for anything else. More than just not hungry, I wager you weren't sleepy either." Lady Ingrid, the 4th mistress, knelt to examine Cale's face. "Look at those dark circles under his eyes." Lord Cale looked at the Grand Matron. "Grandmother must be starving too." Grandmother's eyes are red from worry. The grand matron embraced him again, tears flowing. Lady Seraphina said softly, "It's all right now. Everyone's home. No need to worry. Eat well and sleep well." Lady Elara Thorne, who had been standing by the window, walked a few steps aside and quietly spoke a few words to a maid. Then she returned to the grand matron's side. "Grandmother, Lady Elara is already eating. She even had 2 more bowls of rice today. We're all starving, everyone is." Lady Gwen Thorne smiled faintly and remained silent. Lady Thea Thorne nodded along. "Grandmother, I'm hungry too." With the young girls speaking up, the room became a lively chorus of voices, and the grand matron smiled through her tears. Good, good. Everyone's hungry. Let's all sit down and eat," she declared. Her granddaughters, grandson, and great-granddaughters all sat at the grand matron's table, while Lady Seraphina and her 2 sisters-in-law ate at a separate table outside the room. "I never knew Cale was so articulate," Lady Rosalind said with a smile. "He used to just follow Lara around whenever he visited, never saying much, never laughing. That was because he didn't need to speak. With Lord Anson Thorne present, it didn't matter whether Cale spoke or not. Others had already spoken for him. Cale is young, but he is also Big Brother's son," Lady Seraphina said. "Now that Big Brother is gone, he must uphold the family. He's becoming the master, becoming sensible." Lady Seraphina turned to look into the room, seeing Lord Cale holding his bowl, ready for more rice. The grand matron joyfully urged the maids. "Eat slowly, there's plenty," she said, wiping a grain of rice from Cale's mouth. "What happened to your sister? Did the Blackwood family disrespect her?" Lord Cale swallowed the rice in his mouth and shook his head. "No." Everyone at both tables, inside and out, pricked up their ears. Lady Elara's sudden disappearance had troubled them for days, leading to various private speculations. Were they finally about to get an answer? "Sister just missed home," Lord Cale said, not seeming to find the matter very serious, speaking lightly. "Missed home? Was it that simple?" Lord Cale took a large spoonful of rice. "She was scared." "Scared? Actually, I was scared too," Lord Cale said, lowering his head, his voice muffled. "Father is gone, and sister was going away too. I was alone in the Swordfall marches. I wanted to run away too." The grand matron immediately embraced him again, bursting into tears. Lady Seraphina and her 2 sisters-in-law put down their uneaten meals and rushed in to comfort her. This time, the grand matron was not easily consoled. She summoned Lord Cashin, Lord Lyman and Lord Fenrir, her 3 sons, and began to scold them fiercely. "Lara is only 13 this year, and Cale is only 10. They are still children. One was sent off to Valoria to marry, the other abandoned in the Swordfall marches. Their father is gone, but have you, their uncles, died too. They're not going anywhere. They'll stay right here at home. Let's see who dares to drive them out." As night fell, Lord Cashin Thorne was finally able to return to his room to rest. Though it had been another chaotic day, without proper food or sleep, his spirits were better than in the previous days. Is it really that simple? She missed home and ran back. Lord Cashin frowned. Why couldn't she just say so? Lady Seraphina smiled faintly. It's not that she couldn't say it, it's about who she would say it to. Lara isn't familiar with us yet. Lord Cashin disliked this explanation. How can we be unfamiliar? We're family. Lady Seraphina rephrased. They aren't close to us, having not grown up with us. Children are naturally wary of strangers. On this point, Lord Cashin did not object. So she got scared halfway, wanted to come back, but dared not say it. She didn't trust House Blackwood or us to listen to her, so she just secretly ran off, Lady Seraphina continued. She never expected to encounter a landslide and nearly die. That terrified her even more, and she ran wildly, getting lost. Lady Elara had never traveled before, and her driver, Page Finn, was from the Swordfall marches, unfamiliar with the local terrain. Getting lost was perfectly normal. Lord Cashin nodded. This explanation seemed plausible now, and what happened in the past no longer mattered as much. So that's how it was. Well, this is good. After such a scare, she'll grow closer to the family, he said. However, they can't stay at home. Closeness and staying home were 2 different matters entirely.